Welcome back again with a full house here at the Orange Stage at the ITB convention. Great to see so many faces again. This brings us really to our next hot topic when we talk about one of the biggest buzzwords now at ITB, artificial intelligence. We dive into the question now, how is marketing powered by artificial intelligence, and how is artificial intelligence also enhancing marketing results? And for that, I welcome first Leah on stage because she has an interesting guest.
Yes, and again, that's right. I have one wonderful guest, and after that, I have another guest joining us. So stay with us for the next hour. It's wonderful. Katie said it, marketing powered by AI. So let's look at that, and let's hear from our track sponsor, Google, some strategy tips for marketeers to build a data and measurement foundation and how to succeed, actually, in these times of AI. And we really want to learn something here, and I think this briefing will really tell us a lot. And after that, we will invite leading travel companies. We will have HomeToGo, Flix, and Lufthansa Group. We will put them on the chairs there, and then we ask them, how are you actually doing it? Share your learnings with us. How are you using AI for marketing? So I wish you a lot of fun with that session, and it's my honor to welcome on stage industry leader, travel at Google, Henrike Leverenz.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey, Leah.
Yeah. You just walk up. You're banging. Welcome on the ITB Berlin Convention stage.
Thanks
and
for having
before
me.
we start, we're here at the Travel Industry Unites. So my question to you, do you have a next travel destination? What are you looking forward to next in terms of travel?
Next school vacation, I'm heading up to the mountains. Swiss people here, so I'm a mountain person.
Right, another mountain person. We just had another. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Oh, sounds good. Well, the stage is yours. I'm looking forward.
Thank you so much, Leah.
Henrike.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Great being here. 2024 is an inflection point for marketing. You see the rapid acceleration of AI and the departure of third-party cookies kicking in this year. And while the main objectives and the core role of marketers remains the same, the way we are working, the tools and products at all our disposal, they are changing significantly. My name is Henrike. I'm leading the travel industry mobility for Google in Germany. And when I started, back in the times, our collaboration with marketing departments was strongly focused on keywords. We were clustering them in ad groups and campaigns manually, and we were actually selling them on CPM prices. Fair to say that's over 20 years ago, and there were so many changes, transformational changes, digital transformations, and so on and so forth, until now we have AI embedded in so many of our products. So many changes, yet what has not changed is our continuous focus on the consumer. So let's start with them. Consumer behavior is super fragmented. More than 50% of your consumers are using 5 or even more online sources before they buy. That's an all-time high. And furthermore, in 2024, third-party cookies are fading away, and it's key to invest in first-party data. Invest in first-party data and let AI build on it. Yes, at Google we believe AI is the most profound technology that humanity is currently working on, and you hear it here on every stage. It's a huge technological shift, and you can compare it to the arrival of the internet or the shift to mobile devices. And I clearly remember back in 2016 when we put Google an AI-first company. That's almost a decade ago. So AI is not new. But Gen AI is. And we can also see this in the search interest from Google search trends, that interest is going deeper, moving more towards exploring the practical implications of AI versus a general understanding of what AI is. And on top, it's a big business opportunity for all of us, for all our businesses. According to McKinsey, Gen AI can increase marketing productivity by 5 to 15% of total marketing expenditure. With that, it's no longer a question whether companies should rely on AI, yet rather how efficiently you do so. And that's actually a question that is often put to us. How can we start it, how to embrace it, and also, of course, what is the impact of AI on our marketing? And I'm very glad that we will hear from some great partners of us on their approaches, on their impact, how AI is driving them, and on our collaboration. Before, let's explore together how you can put Google AI to work for your marketing. So we have alongside the marketing circle products that are AI-fueled, have AI power to drive a future-proof measurement, to drive high-performing media, and to build creatives. Let's go one deeper. To future-proof your measurement in a cookieless world, that's a challenge. And we have some good tools for you in place to help you on that. Starting with the Google Tag Manager, you can think of the Tag Manager as a starting point and the foundation for your Google measurement setup. With enhanced conversions, you can increase conversion measurement and accuracy. Google Analytics 4 is our analytics tool that is built for a cookieless world. And consent mode for markets where you need user consent. Collect it and send it back to Google Advertising. Using those tools pays off for your business, as we can see with the great case of Air France here. They activated consent mode. With that, they improved the data quality. They also nicely comply with DMA requirements on that. And on top, the measured conversions increased by 9%. So a great win with Air France on that. Let's switch to media. And despite the fragmented consumer behavior, we aim to connect to our consumers and our customers and tie them to all our objectives. And in the current times of huge focus on profitability, it might be an objectives such as drive online sales profitably. Sounds familiar? Yeah. How can AI help here? Let me give you an example. Whereas in the past you might have said something like, show my hotel to an 18 to 25-year-old woman with an interest in eco-hotels, you can now say, sell my product, my hotel room, to whoever is interested in. And that's exactly what PMax, Performance Max, our single campaign type, is doing. It's an AI-fueled solution, campaign type, is running across all Google channels, and it's optimizing towards your objectives, the objectives you have set behind it. And again, it shows off, or it pays off using our tools, as you can see here, with global hotel chains using PMax and showcasing the great results. Last one in the circle, creatives. And time to talk about Gemini. Yes, I'm a huge fan of Gemini, and I use it for email drafting, content generation, and brainstorming. And the most beauty thing about it, it saves me time. On average, it's said that 100 hours per person per year can be saved by AI. So that's time that you can use, you and your teams can use for more strategic, more productive activities. And you can think of AI as an intern for your marketing department. And hot news, Gemini is also coming into Google Ads very, very soon in Germany and help you on your way building search campaigns. I already see the red time, so time is over. We have seen that AI is already embedded in many of our products. So companies, I invite companies to navigate the landscape, to set an AI foundation, and also to foster a test and learn mentality within your organization, to test and learn and scale where successful, or also to accept to fail in between. And to share learnings. On my journey, I've learned that success comes with people. It's the connection, the sharing of knowledge within the organization and also beyond. And that's why we're here for, and I'm super excited to listen in and to learn from our partners, from commercial leaders, from large travel companies. And with that, I'm handing over to Leah. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Wow, that was a lot of information. And now let's do the cross-check. So how are actually commercial leaders and leading travel companies applying AI, leveraging that in their operations? So it is my absolute honor to welcome on stage from the Lufthansa Group, Olaf Backofen, from Flix, Dick Sen, and from HomeToGo, Caroline Burns. Please join me on stage. Right, beautiful picture, perfect people on stage. And just to do it officially again, I will introduce you properly so we know what department you're representing. So I start with you, Caroline. Caroline Burns, you're from HomeToGo and you're Director of PR and Marketing. So thank you for being here. Great to have you.
Thank you so much. So happy to be here.
And then we have Dick Sen from Flix. You are the Director of Global Performance Marketing and Media. Thank you for joining and sharing your insights.
Thank you for having me.
Great. And then Olaf Backofen, you're from Lufthansa Group, you're the airline sector, and Head of Channel Partnership Management. So you see.
Hello, everybody. Hi, nice to see you.
We have the right brains here to discuss and to learn from how AI is impacting your marketing organization. And maybe, Caroline, maybe you want to start. Like, we've heard a lot now, so, but tell us some insights from HomeToGo. Is it impacting your organization, and if so, how?
Absolutely. So if you haven't heard of HomeToGo, which hopefully you should have, we are the SaaS-enabled marketplace with the world's largest selection of vacation rentals. So we're talking about 15 million rentals all on one platform. And so AI is incredibly important to our marketplace model because we are expertly matching supply and demand. It's always been at the core of what we're doing. And from a marketing perspective, as you heard just now from Henrique, it's an incredible tool where we can be efficient to drive profitable repeat demand. So think about things we're already doing like keyword optimization, expert bidding strategies, content generation, while also making sure to still have that human touch, which I think is a big important point. And looking ahead, we have this vision to really become a fully AI-powered marketplace. So in general, we're just so proud to be on stage here to talk about this and also hear from leading companies like Flix and Lufthansa how they're doing this as well.
Yeah, exactly. And Flix, how are you doing at DickDuty? Can you share some insights? Is it impacting your marketing organization?
Of course, I think it's almost a given, right? I mean, I don't think there's one company that isn't impacted to a different scale. And similar to what Caroline just said, I guess we move millions of passengers around the world in 43 different countries and thousands of connections. So it's normal to handle that kind of connection. We need AI. But then again, what's new in the last 1 year is Gen AI, right. And I think that's obviously impacting marketing a lot more than it's impacting other parts of the organization. We've done a lot in terms of, right now we're mostly trying to use off-the-shelf solutions to create content for SEO, for other content pieces. And I think on the Google end, like Enrique just presented, I think we're trying and testing quite a few of those tools, Demand Gen, PMax, and I think we are pretty much just scratching the surface of it, but I do imagine that would have significant impact in the coming months and years.
Right. And I mean, Lufthansa Group has been around for quite some years. It's not like a new startup. It's like one of the biggest brands in our industry. How is a new technology like AI impacting like a household brand like Lufthansa Group?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, it's really, and for us, starting a journey on it. But beside what we are already saying, a lot of new possibilities, options, we look into that. I think there's one fundamental topic needed, and this is about transformation. Because so far, we were quite traditionally thinking in marketing, digital, innovation, IT, and with AI, that will change dramatically. So we will not need anymore the IT or the marketing manager. It's basically you need an AI expert. And we have to really modify the skills. We need new people, and we need to be much more collaborative between the different areas, be it IT, be it marketing. You cannot say anymore this is just the marketing manager.
Right, yeah, so it adds complexity, obviously. Would you second that, Caroline? Would you say at HomeToGo the skill set has changed that you're looking for if you hire, for example, for the marketing team now?
I would actually challenge that a bit. I think that AI and expert tools that you see from like Google's AI advertising solutions have made it incredibly easy for anybody to really adapt this into their system. And that's the approach that we're taking. So we want to funnel AI across every aspect of the business. We want to empower our team with these tools. We want to get things out to market, test, iterate, and learn quickly. And for sure, talent coming in with AI expertise really relevant and important right now, but I think it's amazing to see how quickly these tools are developing and ultimately how seamlessly you can already put them into your system.
Yeah, would you add something to that, DQT? Are you seeing the roles of your marketing teams changing, or?
I think AI is like the cat's out of the bag, right? There's no putting it back in again. So it's changed the world, and it's changed the world once and for all. So yes, it changes the role of a marketing manager, so to speak. But I think I partly also agree with Caroline, right? I think it does not change how we hire. I think the basics are still the same, but it definitely empowers marketing people to do more. And just as we've seen in the past, right? Technology has always changed, and marketing, as well as business, has adapted to that change. I mean, at some point, smartphones came along about just over a decade ago, and
right.
I think we can't imagine a world without that right now. So I guess AI is, again, just as in the previous presentation we saw, it's probably a generational shift. And all newer marketing people will have to adapt and learn along with it.
Yeah, that's really exciting, I feel. And you mentioned a few areas where you use AI, right, for content creations, keywords, etc. So, Olaf, what would you say at Lufthansa, where do you see the most significant potential for AI in your operations?
I think there are basically 3 areas. Number 1 is really about personalization. The other one is about efficiency. The third area is about quality. So speaking about the first one, of course, we have tons of data and data points within the Lufthansa Group. And it's basically to connect those dots and to really offer the right product on the right, in the customer journey for the right customer. On the other side, speaking about efficiency, we just sent out a newsletter on a pilot case. One was created by a human marketing manager. The other one was created by GenAI. And we were measuring clearly the outcome by KPIs. So for example, the click-through rates, the feedback. And after some very short learning phase, it was definitely much better performing the newsletter sent around by GenAI. So that means also there's on one side a lot of efficiency, but we'll need the colleagues still because it's a different task. That's what I was also meaning with transformation. It's more to steer and to learn how to work with a tool rather than to produce the newsletter, for example, itself. But that's about efficiency. Also, when it comes to search, there's a lot of possibilities. Everything is basically still built manually, more or less, and this will be automatically created by AI. Third topic, quality, which I see is the most important, is really that we can do completely new things. This is about creation of content. This is also something like we say we can better predict what will be the customers of tomorrow, having the right offer, and also, of course, to improve the quality of the newsletter, as I just said, the better performance and better outcome.
Right. Well, that's great improvement. That's great to see. And I was wondering, you're using some tools already, right, DQT, at Flix. There is the Google Products PMX that you're using.
Yeah.
Is there some learnings you can share already?
I think we've just started. I mean, not started. I think we started using Demand Gen a couple of months ago, and then we've been using PMX for a while. I think, like most travel businesses, our search setup is quite sophisticated, right? It pretty much is the backbone of our online marketing piece. So I think we're still trying to figure out where PMX fits into it. We currently still use it as a catch-all, but I think it's still doing well. It's promising. On the other hand, Demand Gen has been quite interesting for us. It's helped us. We definitely see promising conversions coming from it. I don't want to get into nitty-gritties. Happy to talk to anyone if they're interested about it after, but I think we definitely see better conversions. CPM's a little higher, but it does look promising. So I think it will need us quite some time to test and learn and see how this works. And together with Google, maybe we shape it in a way that actually works for us.
Yeah, so you just started a journey, basically.
We're on a journey. Yes.
You would like to add something? Yeah,
yes, indeed, because we're also starting, like you were saying, starting to use PMX, and the first results are really very encouraging for us. So it's really a great support us, and can underline what you're saying.
Yeah, and HomeToGo is a very tech-savvy player, right? I mean, there's no question there. And especially in the VR industry, vacation rental sector, I think you're quite an important player there. And you have been investing into the latest AI technologies successfully from the very beginning. I think search was powered by AI very early on with you guys, right? So is there anything else that you can share now? Like, where are you currently standing? Is there some projects you can share with us?
Yeah, so as you said, AI has always been really at the core of what we're doing. Again, going back to that expert matchmaking between demand and supply, how can we have AI-powered machine learning ranking? How can we even increase our image attractiveness with machine learning? And this year, our 10th anniversary, by the way, we were really, really proud to be the first vacation rental player to tap into generative AI and launch our own AI product. It's called AI Mode. If you download the HomeToGo app, it's in the Explore tab. And AI Mode is essentially a travel planner with generative AI, and it's amazing to see the use cases that we've pulled out of how people are using AI Mode, asking everything from where can I find the best surfing in Portugal to where can I find where they filmed Mamma Mia? How can I stay there? And it's a fun, really way that we're delighting customers, we're bringing them back, we're driving that profitable demand. And on top, as mentioned, not only with marketing and how can we make this incredibly efficient to build towards our profitability goals, but how can we also integrate AI into every step of the product experience? So having AI-powered reviews where it's pulling out the most important things for that customer, or AI-powered offer descriptions, again, highlighting what matters most. And so I think when we look towards the future, we're gonna see this hyper-personalization, and that's incredibly relevant for travel. Like, travel is an emotional experience. It's something that's changing for every person in terms of what they want. And so being able to tap into that and fuel our marketplace with this AI-powered end-to-end experience is ultimately the vision we're taking.
Right, thank you. And let's tap into budget, like the effects also on budgeting, right? So, Dick, we've learned that you work with PMax, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not an expert on that, but it runs across channels, right? And yes, now that's different. So, share with us, did it change anything how you budget now as you're not really able to do it across channels anymore?
I think I would like to say yes, but I think we still don't know enough about it to really have an influence on the budget. And I think also it's still a fairly small portion of the overall budget. So I think what I probably say is that we dedicate a amount to it. So just because we don't know what it's working, we still are in the mode where we are ambitious enough to make it happen. So we allocate budget out to it. And like I said, initially our thought process around PMax is using it as a catch-all that mops up everything that we miss with our structured campaigns. Yeah. So that's how we think of it from a budget perspective. Like, how much do we need to mop up everything else? And it's still measured against the same efficiency goals that we have with our, let's say, classically structured campaigns.
Right, and I mean, Henrike mentioned this in her presentation, right? We have the first-party cookies departing, and it's all about data. So at Lufthansa Group, how do you ensure that you have the right data available for example, miles and more, etc.? You have a lot of programs, right, where you leverage data, customer data.
It's a key topic for us because we have to prepare, of course, for the cookieless world, and basically we are, first of all, building up what we call a one ID. So that means that we building for all of the airlines. You might know the Lufthansa Group is composed of 13 airlines, not only the Lufthansa. So we're building we call it the one ID, so that we can combine the data from the passengers. Second, we have been building a customer data platform, which also enables us to further work with the data. Of course, a starting point here in collecting much data, and not to forget about Google Analytics 4, which is also helpful to enlarge our customer audience in some of the topics. And you're rightly mentioning, it's also, of course, miles more. It's a huge customer database, which gives us really rich data and many different data. So we really have, as an airline, the chance to already collect since long a lot of data points aside of the cookies. And that's helpful.
Right. And with data, there comes complexity, there comes regulations. We have an issue of data sovereignty and quality at HomeToGo. What are the challenges and opportunities you are seeing in terms of collecting customer data? And then, especially, we're looking at various countries, regions. You have different regulations. Can you share how you approach that at HomeToGo?
Yeah, and I think this is also advice to marketers everywhere. It's important to test AI, get it out to market, do it quickly the way we've done, but you cannot sacrifice data sovereignty. And we are really proud that we've built a proprietary gateway where we take this incredibly seriously. It's end-to-end, it's constantly evolving. It's making sure that data is safe, secure, also working with big players like Google where it's also safe and secure. And these models are not really taking customer data, they're taking customer behavior. And that's ultimately what's important to how you want to deliver a more personalized experience.
So it adds context that we didn't have before, right? So yeah, that's really exciting. I feel so much potential there. And I mean, now we talked about some use cases, etc. So in general, what do you think, what key questions as a marketeer come up for you when you think about the AI impact on marketing? Is there some advice you would share with fellow marketeers, what to consider, what to look for, some points to consider? Would you like to start?
Yes, indeed. I think one of the key questions is really also how conversational search will change the ecosystem. Because so far, the search, of course, is being enriched by conversational topics. On the other side, we've got the Gen AI, we have ChatGPT, we have Gemini, and then third, we also have, for inspiration, the meta searches. So who will be the winner, basically? Or will it be a mix? How and what are the new chances and opportunities out of conversational search? I think we're just in the beginning. But that's one question. And the other one for me is really also, of course, how to establish and to implement AI within the organization to better leverage this. It's, as I said, a cross-functional topic from my perspective.
What open questions do you see, Diktuti?
I mean, obviously we have the similar challenges in terms of search evolving. That will have significant impact on how the funnel works for us. But that said, I think there's also, we're dabbling a lot with trying to use generative AI for producing creatives. But I mean, on one hand, we've seen some fantastic results from the likes of Sora and Gemini. But then also, the outcome can be quite unpredictable, right? I think that only necessitates better guardrails around brand and positioning that we as sometimes, at least me as performance marketer, tend to keep that on the background. We think a little bit more about where money is and we think in terms of ROAS. But as we hand over more of these controls of how the creative is generated, how the channels are steered to an AI-led system, I think then the foundations become a lot more important in terms of what data we feed in and what kind of guardrails we put around what we get out of it, right? So the good old garbage in, garbage out probably still holds true in this time.
Yeah, I think that's a huge challenge, though. If you look at also the vast amount of data that we have in the travel industry, there's quite a risk, right?
Absolutely.
Right. And what would you add, Caroline? What would you say are really key questions to consider when looking?
Well, I think in general, advice is just don't work with AI because it's trendy, and instead think about how do you want to make something more efficient and how can AI help that? So for example, if you're launching in a new market, you could use Google's AI advertising solutions, and just with a few bookings, it really learns how these customers work. That's an incredibly efficient way to scale in a new market. And like I said before, it's really about making sure you put the right resources into this, test it, iterate, get it out quickly. And I think I'm really proud to say that even though HomeToGo is a public company growing, scaling quickly, we were able to do this fast, and you really can't say the same for many other vacation rental players. And so I think that's the number one advice. Do it fast, don't sacrifice data sovereignty, don't do it just because it's trendy, make it efficient.
That's a very good advice. Don't do it because it's trendy, right? I mean, I think we can see some headlines where you could take away.
Yeah, I think it's a very marketing thing to go.
It is, right?
The shiny best next thing.
Yeah, last year was metaverse, in virtual reality, etc. So let's see what's next year. I invite you on stage next year to ask about next trend. Yeah, we have some time left. How about you tell the audience where can they meet you? Olaf, are you here with the Lufthansa Group? Where can we meet you at ITB?
Well, we have a stand over there, Lufthansa booth. Happy to meet you over there, and just contact me on LinkedIn.
Right, that's a very good advice.
If
absolutely.
you like.
Yeah, connect with the speakers on LinkedIn, follow them. That's what I do personally for years, and I learn a lot. Diktuti, where can we find Flix?
I mean, you find me around here. Happy,
right.
Feel free to add me on LinkedIn. We don't have a booth here, as far as I'm aware of, but you will find me and a bunch of my colleagues around. So LinkedIn's probably the best place to get started.
Yeah, perfect. And Caroline, you have a wonderful booth. I know
yes,
that.
we do.
Yeah.
If you entered via Hall 9, which a lot of you are because that's where the train is closest to, you'll see the bright neon purple booth. That's HomeToGo. Please stop by. We're giving away all sorts of treats, and lots of lovely people from our Berlin team are here to talk to you.
I can vouch for that. This is a very lovely team, yeah. And then one last question, because I personally find that interesting. In your personal life, what's the role of AI? Is there something you say changed my life or made it easier? Is there something you say
I'm
applies?
always ChatGPTing German bureaucracy laws because I
right.
work with a lot of that
amazing.
as an expat.
That's amazing, yeah.
Yes.
Do you have something where you say?
No, I think I've been very curious about it right from the start, right? I mean, I almost use it as an intern to kind of you just jot down your thoughts and put it into ChatGPT and say, make it better. And then you kind of go back, no, I need it a bit funnier, a bit lighter, a bit whatever. And you can play around with it. So it's just like having a intern on your beck and call, and so you take your
It doesn't
thoughts.
need a break.
It doesn't whine. You just take your thoughts, dump it, and then hopefully it puts out something a bit better. So it speeds up the process, I guess, a little bit.
So something in your life, Olaf, where you said AI made a positive impact already?
Yeah, same here. Also working especially with the Gen AI tools is quite fascinating for me, being a scientist, basically, to explore what is really possible, what does work, what is a hallucination. I think it's really quite a fascinating journey, how we are having new options over here.
Well, you heard it. AI is not going to go away, so better you get used to it and start learning. But don't do it because it's a trend. Thank you so much for joining me here on stage. Caroline Burns, Director of PR Marketing at HomeToGo. Thank you for being here with me. Dikjuti Sen. I learned your name, Dikjuti Sen.
Yes.
It's a beautiful name, by the way. Director Global Performance Marketing Media at Flix. And Olaf Backofen, Head of Channel Partnership Manager at Lufthansa Group. Thank you so much for joining me here and sharing your insights.
Thank you.
Hope to see you next year again. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for having
And
me.
I say, back to Katie. Thank you.
All right.